Hi, my name is Beer, and let's start with Deflector. This is a top-down action roguelite where you dive deep into hostile worlds teeming with viruses. You will encounter increasingly challenging enemies with your weapons and their own deflected projectiles. You will also have to choose one of several bioshells, each with unique weapons, abilities and means of deflecting projectiles. You know, the name of the game is not just a fancy word. It's your profession, I guess. I can even imagine the job listing for the task.
Must have at least 50 years experience of deflecting. Have to speak native level of Spanish, English, Lithuanian, Ukrainian and Mandarin. Must be proactive, must have experience of koala breeding, taming ostriches and at least PhD in quantum physics. Salary €3 an hour.
To be honest, all the job ads sounds this way. So here every world you'll visit is filled with unique hostile fauna, ready to swarm you with their pathetic bodies and stingy bullets. The game is difficult and dying here will be your daily routine. Every enemy is deadly, from the smallest stuff to the imposing apex virus at the end of each world. But don't you worry, you will learn to overcome every foe through trial and error. Well, honestly, probably not, I'm just being nice, but you may have fun anyway. The review score is close to 90%, so if you like the style, think of getting it. Bulwark, Falconeer Chronicles. Here you'll create your own fortified settlements within the haunting and eye-catching landscapes. The core gameplay is focused on wildly building across the rocky cliffs and crags of the world. Light resource management and story elements bring your creation to life, while giving a voice to its inhabitants and allowing you to expand it with exotic new build options. Also, it's not just a simple city builder. The threat is real and the battles will be glorious here. Don't ask why, just look, you will be fighting dragons with airships. How cool is that? The game itself is a spin-off of the Falconeer, a beautiful air combat game created by a solo developer, and this city builder is definitely worthy of your attention. Dome Keeper. Dome Keeper has about 90% of positive reviews, so it is obviously a hidden gem you may want to try. Well, a nice polished rock at least. This is a roguelike survival miner where you will defend your dome from wave after wave of monsters. You will use the time between each attack to dig beneath the surface and search of valuable resources and artifacts, and use them carefully to choose powerful upgrades and bonuses. People on Steam are talking that the game is very polished, rich and imaginative. It's all you need for your free time. Well, this and potato salad. DREDGE. DREDGE is not just a fishing game, it's a fishing game with a twist. After dark it becomes a Lovecraftian fishing game. The world around you is teeming with creatures from the void, and when the night sets in, our worlds collide and cosmic horrors enter our realm. Not as scary as your ex-mother-in-law, but still terrifying things. So ideally you want to return to a harbor before the night sets in, so you won't become a dinner for some malevolent demigod of the depths. You can also dock in some safe location and sleep during the night. Of course, it is easier said than done, because the game uses a very cool time management mechanic. If you do nothing, time doesn't move. Like for real, if you just swing on the waves and admire the horizon, you can stay like this forever. But when you start sailing, the timer starts ticking, and at 6 PM Lovecraftian madness starts to settle in. This is a wonderful and honestly kinda relaxing game. Well, except when you go into mangroves. Oh, it's not relaxing at all. Anyway, the game is absolutely 10 cold beers out of 10. A must play. Assassin's Creed Unity. Game is set in the city of Paris during one of its darkest hours. The French Revolution is in action. Here you will do all the usual Assassin's Creed stuff and take part in one of the most important moments of French history by participating in the events that shape the city of today. If the game's franchise would be naming its titles by numbers, this would be Assassin's Creed 8. So yeah, they have been baking these like cookies for almost 2 decades now. But keeping in mind that Assassin's Creed Unity is more than 10 years old, the graphics are quite impressive and the gameplay is enjoyable despite some minor control issues. The biggest issue whatsoever is that it requires the Ubisoft launcher, and if it is down, you can't play the game. Also, the co-op feature that is kinda famous here is plagued with connection bugs and errors. It's a nice game, but I have warned you for a reason. 5 Nations. If StarCraft was mockingly called a Warcraft in space, then 5 Nations should be called a Warcraft in space, because it is following the same gameplay formula as Blizzard games, but everything is happening, you know, in space. But don't worry, this is not some grand strategy game or something like a homeworld where the distances are huge and everything is happening super slow. No, in 5 Nations the background is space, but all the action is the same as in old good base builder RTSs. The game gets little attention because it's an indie game and they have no money to make a huge advertising campaigns. I found it just because I was especially looking for games like StarCraft, and it still took me an hour to get to this game. But now it may become a bit more popular because other YouTubers tend to copy my lists. Great thing is that you can play the demo version on Steam absolutely free and check it out with your own eyes. Although it's not easy to see where to download it. Look in the right column above information about languages and you will see the download button. 5 nations managed to stay true to old school gameplay, voiceovers and even writing style, and that is great. South Park: The Stick of Truth. From the perilous battlefields of the 4th Great Playground, a young hero will rise, destined to be the South Park's savior. For 1,000 years, the battle has been waged. The sole reason humans and elves are locked in a never-ending war is the Stick of Truth. But the tides of war are soon to change as word of a new kid spreads throughout the land, his coming foretold by the stars. Anyway, you'll arm yourself with the weapons of legend to defeat underpants gnomes, hippies, vegans and other forces of evil. If you succeed in your perilous mission, you shall become South Park's savior. And if you fail, you will forever be known, you know, whoever you are right now. No offense. Remember Me. This is an action-adventure where you will take on the role of a former elite memory hunter with the ability to break into people's minds and steal or even alter their memories. What is more cyberpunk than that, huh? So the authorities, fearful of your knowledge and capabilities, arrested you and wiped your memory clean. After the escape from prison, you set out on a mission to recover your identity. This search for the past will lead you to being hunted by the very people that created this surveillance society. The action is set in a Paris of the future, so get ready for a very cool environment. People are saying that the game has an interesting story, and even if it's a bit older, graphics are still kinda decent. Katana ZERO. This is a stylish neo-noir action platformer featuring instant death combat. You may ask, who will be instantly dying, you or your enemies? Well, that is a matter of your skills. If you suck as a gamer, you know the answer already. So here you'll slash, dash and manipulate time to unravel your past and leave the trail of blood and intestines everywhere you go. The pace of the game somehow reminded me of Hotline Miami. Super fast action where you'll have to time your attacks perfectly or, you know, you die. People on Steam are saying that the only bad thing about this game is that it ends. Resident Evil 2. This is a complete remake of a classic game. Overwhelmingly positive review score softly hints that it was a complete success as well. Resident Evil 2 offers a fresh take on a classic survival horror saga with realistic visuals, immersive audio and a new over-the-shoulder camera. You will also get modernized controls on top of gameplay modes from the original game. I can still remember when I played the original game when I was 14 years old, and somehow I had my mental balls big enough to play it every evening after school. Well, on those rare occasions when I actually went to school. I'm a YouTuber not because I was very good at studying, you know, but I was good at games. That's why you should avoid me if you need your appendix surgically removed, but if you want your boredom removed, I'm your guy, that's for sure. Nioh 2, the Complete Edition. Here you can create your own original protagonist and embark on an adventure that will take you through devastated lands across Japan during the Sengoku period. Much like the previous title, which gained a lot of praise from fans and critics alike, Nioh 2 contains an original story and a lot of action. This edition includes all the content from Nioh 2 along with all 3 DLC expansions: The Tengu's Disciple, Darkness in the Capital and The First Samurai. You can also play the game at 120 frames per second if your monitor is a beast. Also, it supports 4K, ultra-wide screens and so on. People on Steam are talking that this game is a masterpiece, well-balanced title with great replayability value, but definitely not for those who suck at Souls-like games. But if you suck at Souls-like games, I have wonderful advice for you. Stop sucking, get good. See how easy it is? Wall World. This is a mining roguelite with tower defense elements and a very affordable price. Here you'll explore procedurally generated mines and discover fantastical biomes, find resources and technologies and purchase valuable upgrades, fight off hordes of aggressive monsters using your mobile base and roam the world freely day and night in various weather conditions, find traces of the others and boldly mine where no man has mined before. The game has a really fun concept, beautiful art style and reminds me a bit of a Dome Keeper, another beautiful indie game. People on Steam are saying that the game has a great replay value and a bit of a boring ending, but this game is the journey, not the destination. Ancient Planet Tower Defense. It is time to take a break, to rest your mind from various zombie games, from shooters or complex 4X strategies, and just entertain yourself. And tower defense games are one of the best ways to achieve that. It is not a new title by any means, it was released in 2015, but so was the third Witcher. They knew how to make good games back then, that's for sure. So here you'll find 40 unique levels and plenty of diverse enemies and features. Also you can upgrade everything, and the art style is great, also a very positive review score, and this price is probably the combo you needed today. If you like tower defense games, it may be your spoon of potato salad. Warhammer 40k Boltgun. Here, without any hesitation, load up your gun and plunge into battle. You'll experience a perfect blend of Warhammer FPS gameplay and the stylish visuals of your favorite 90s retro shooters. You will play a battle-hardened Space Marine on a perilous mission across the galaxy as you fight against the Chaos Space Marines and demons. This boomer shooter style, well known from the games like Classic Doom, Duke Nukem or Heretic, is a real treat for older dudes like me, and also for a younger generation who wants to experience glory and feel like a true combat god, or goddess, or something in between. Whatever you are, you will rock this. People on Steam are saying that the game doesn't offer a lot of replayability, but the level of entertainment it provides is massive. Although, not as massive as your mama. They always run. This is a very nice 2D platformer where you will control a three-armed mutant hunting for the most dangerous bounties in the galaxy. Its inhabitants have been swarmed by crime since the fall of the Empire. Being able to find anyone and anywhere has become a highly prized skill, and that, my friend, is the skill you possess. Some bounties are rewarded with money, others with valuable information that you can use to find the people who set you on this forsaken path. Having three arms lets you deal with more enemies at once and makes for a persuasive argument in any scuffle. Use your third arm to perform targeted attacks and throws, manipulate the environment, destroy obstacles and wreck enemies. The game has very positive review score and people are saying that it is really fun, although it can be challenging for new players of the genre. Thief Simulator 2. It is time for you to become a thief. Steal from the rich, commit some burglaries, live the life of your dreams. No matter what others say, always keep in mind that every profession is honorable. Also, before committing to crime full-time, you can also try this game. People are saying that it will seriously teach you a thing or two. Although keep in mind that a thief's trade is not just an easy jog in the park. In order to get some practice, you will start with petty theft. This is how you'll gain the experience required to access more and more risky and, most importantly, more profitable jobs. You will gain levels, unlock new opportunities and get new useful tools. Every modern thief must have modern tools from AliExpress. As developers say, it's not only a crowbar and binoculars, but also an advanced equipment that becomes available as you progress, such as a laptop for hacking through security systems. I never knew that special laptops for hacking existed, but well, who am I to disagree? People on Steam are saying that this game will tickle your adrenal glands, so maybe don't drink too much coffee before playing. Barotrauma. Here, in the not-too-distant future, humanity has fled to one of Jupiter's moons. With its irradiated icy surface, life can only be found in the ocean below. You'll travel through a punishing underwater world and discover what lies in the depths of Europa. Basically, this is a 2D co-op survival horror submarine simulator, one of the most casual genres, no doubt, inspired by base-building games like RimWorld or Dwarf Fortress. Also, it has a fun mode quite similar to Among Us. One of your crewmates may be a traitor. So, as you can see, Barotrauma has nothing to do with poor guys getting traumas in a local bar. Game has above 90% of positive reviews and people on Steam are saying that this game is filled with stupid jellyfish and can be played by everyone with developed brains, meaning that it's not for kids, but you can play it with your grandma. Age of Darkness Final Stand. Since that StarCraft mission I played 20 years ago, where I had to hold my base intact against a never-ending Zerg attack, this concept landed in a warm place in my cold beard heart. Later I have played countless maps like that on StarCraft 2, and then There Are Billions was released. I enjoyed the game, it was so fun to play, but I was slightly disappointed as well, because it lacked unit types and was kinda repetitive. Age of Darkness is a bit different. It has a technology allowing over 70,000 swarming AI units on screen at the same time. Also day and night transitions and more defensive unit types than they are Billions had. The downside is that some people are complaining that campaign missions are bugged and sometimes the game just crashes. In survival mode it is a way better experience. Although the game is in early access, don't expect miracles. Anyway, defending from hordes of nightmares is a very satisfying experience. And yeah, that sounds nice, but we all know how this gameplay will go for you. You'll see some zombies breaching your walls and then you'll be like,
This is fine.
and after a moment you'll just rage quit. Warhammer 40k Battlesector. This is a fast-paced, turn-based strategy game set in a grimdark universe of the 41st millennium. Pick your force, develop your army, control mighty heroes and fight for victory using strategy, awesome abilities and devastating weaponry. Here you'll find 20-mission single-player campaign. You'll help to purge the Tyranid infestation and preserve the honor of the noble Blood Angels. Also the skirmish mode is available here. Pick your faction, pick your enemy and dive into battle. You can completely customize your army list by selecting your units, heroes and their weaponry. The game has a very positive review score on Steam, and people are saying that even if you don't like turn-based strategy, this game may change your mind. Here, unlike in XCOM, you can move units simultaneously. You don't need to wait for your other units to finish their turns. That is great because it saves your time. You know what else saves your time? Potato salad. When you eat it, time slows down because of how awesome it is. That is proven by science. Diplomacy is not an option. He will build walls, raise armies and experience warfare on an epic scale. And that is not just a fancy figure of speech. You will face over 25,000 enemies assault your castle walls. If you hope to survive and defend your city so it would become as glorious as Beristan itself, you are going to master engineering, economy and even magic. Although there is one problem, you are not a king, just a minor lord without much power. Your king, on the other hand, is a mighty and powerful leader. And also, he's a total moron. He drinks warm milk instead of beer, eats only well-done steaks and puts pineapple in his potato salad.
Blasphemy!
None of these things are true, but he's bad, I promise. Trust me, have I ever lied to you? Well, I did, but not this time. So the king raised taxes one day to, let's say, buy more pineapples, and now peasants who are not fond of raised taxes and emerging hunger are rioting in your part of the kingdom. King demands to wipe out the rebellion and go to the distant land to get some gold. Will you do as he says, or will you command the armies of undead and wipe out, humanity instead? Yeah, this game is wild and fun. A very positive review score is achieved by votes cast by thousands of players. And now thank you for watching, and as always, if you like my videos you can support me on Patreon and become a sponsor of every video I make. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time, bye.